Hello and welcome to Edupedia World. So, it's now time that we create a all CG scene using Cinema 4D Light and After Effects. So, as you can see, this is what we're going to be creating, and this is all made in Cinema 4D Light and After Effects. And you can see we've got some text, and the camera is moving by. And it all looks quite nice, so let's just create a new project, and this is where we start. So we're actually going to be working quite a lot in Cinema 4D Light, so we'll just start by creating a new Cinema 4D file. I'll call this CG Scene Tutorial. Hit enter, and as you can see, After Effects also automatically opened the scene for us, and this is what we got. So we want to just create a cube and scale it up a bit. Then we want to click this button up here to make it editable, go into this option with the faces, and then we just want to delete 3 of these faces. Deselect, and there we go. We've now got like a cool corner where we can place some text. So in order to create some text, we want to use a spline, and I'll choose the one that's called text. Write my text, which will be Cinema 4D, like this, and then I will just choose a cool font. I think this one looks pretty cool. Let's see what there are. I think I'll choose, where was it? Not that one, this one. I'll choose this guy as my text. And then I'm so sorry. I will take now I want to take this spline, which is just like shapes or masks in After Effects, and I want to turn that into something 3D. And I can do that very easily by just highlighting the text, holding down Alt, click and drag, and choose Extrude. And what that has done is that it has taken the text, like the text spline, and just extruded it out. I want to align it to the middle, like this, and I want to take the extrude and I want to rotate it along this to 45 degrees. Scale it down a little bit, down to the ground right here, and I want to maybe change the extrusion, so go into the extrude object and move it back a little bit more, maybe like that. Then we can go into caps and change these caps to fillet caps, like this. And as you can see, that made these creases here in the sides. If we change the amount of steps, then we may actually get some smooth corners like that. We can go in here and maybe change the radius a bit. This is a little bit too much for my taste. Let's just do 1. And if we render this, you can see we get a bit of highlights on the corners. So I will quickly create a camera, look through the camera, and place it, let's say over here. Let's try and do some crawling text. So the camera starts here, place a keyframe, go to the last frame, and then I want to look from over here. And as you can see, the camera is like crawling by the text. I'm just going to remove this keyframe in the middle. I want to actually take this text, scale it down a little bit and move it back further. Then I want to move it down until it touches the ground, right around here. I want to turn on ambient occlusion, and I want it to go into output and change this to 1280 by 720. Okie dokie. I'm going to take this camera and put it into a null, and I'm going to look out of the camera. And then I'm going to take this null and move the whole thing down. What happened? Let's try again. This time create a null and put the camera inside, and nothing will happen. And then I can take the null and change the Y coordinate to move the camera position down, so we don't have to change our animation. And there we go. This looks alright. I maybe want to change this last keyframe to something like this instead. There we go. So now the 3D objects in this scene have actually been set up. We now want to add some lighting, so I'll just add a simple light, move it behind the text, and move it down. So it sits somewhere in here, like that. You can then render, and I'll just disable ambient occlusion right now, because it takes too long. And as you can see, this is what we've got. So let's add another light, an area light this time, rotate it by 45 degrees. No, I couldn't do it. Right here, 45. Move it back and rotate it so that it points at the text. Then I want to take this area light, go into general, and just decrease the intensity to something very small, like 16%. I will take this light behind, and then I will add a soft shadow, and I will add volumetric light. And I'll go out here and just select this light and scale in the volumetric boundaries. Try and do a render, and what we will see is that the light is now like shining all over the place and creating that very cool look. It's also like shining through the letters. It just makes everything look a little bit nicer. May want to try and scale this out a bit. As you can see, when we do that, the light actually starts shining through the letters like this. And this is the effect that I'm going for. If we were to look over here, you can see that it's shining through, and it looks very nice. But you have to be a little bit careful, because if you render and see, you get some pretty nasty edges right here on the M. So I'll just scale this in a little bit, and this is what we'll be going for. I'll take the light, and then this time I'll change it to like a red color. Maybe something a little bit more orange. Could look cool. I think this is what I'm going to be going for. I'll take my large light and I'll change it to a dark blue color. Maybe a little bit lighter because it's so low intensity. I'm just dialing in the intensity right now. Like this, I think this looks nice. Maybe a tiny bit more, 13%. There we go. We can now see light shining through the letters, and everything looks pretty alright. Let's see how our shadows are looking. We've got some pretty soft shadows, light shining through. I think this looks pretty good. Let me just try and remember if I had something in the other scene that I've not put in here yet. Last time I created a texture and added that onto the text, and we can basically just change the color until we find something that matches our scene the best. Maybe it's a dark color, maybe it's a light color. I personally like a dark color. We can also try making it a metal. So reflection. I'm sorry. Turn on the reflection strength a bit. Turn down the roughness and the specular and render. And we will see what this reflection do. I actually like these reflections quite a lot. Maybe want to turn the roughness down just a little bit. We can render again. And there you go, now we've got some nice highlights, and it's reflecting the environment in a pretty nice way. If we want to, we can go into the bump channel and add a texture, like a grunge texture or something, that's going to make it look like it's a bit bumpy. Let's choose this one, hit OK, and then we want to change the mapping, so I'll choose cubic, and as you can see right now, we can actually see, if we zoom in, we can actually see the texture on the letters right here. So I will, for this one I would like to change the size to something that's actually a little bit smaller. And if we render one last time, this may not actually be the last time, but just render, we should be able to see our texture, and it's pretty hard to notice actually. So let's maybe turn this back up to 50% and increase the bump value. And when you do this kind of stuff, you have to be careful with what angle you're looking at, because as you can see right now, it's way too much. Because if you're looking from the wrong angle, then the bump may look so much different than it will look from other angles. As you can see, like here, the light is making it very bumpy. Right here, there's almost nothing. As you see right now, it's a much more fine effect. Just adding a gentle touch to everything. Let's see. I think this looks nice. We can also add an environment map. So click right here, open it up, video, textures, environment map, and I'll choose something like this, Studio Warm, and I will change the mix strength turn it down quite a lot. And something that I can see right now is that I've got a seam on here on the M, and a way I can fix that is by changing this value. I can move it out to the side so that it is in a spot that you can't see it. Let's see if there are others. There's actually another seam right here through other letters, so I can just change this value and remove them. The values that I changed were the offsets. Let's try and render with this environment map. So I really think that this environment map works very nice with these letters. The environment map really shines with the bump map. So as you can see, this looks pretty sick in my opinion. I am going to now do Control S to save. I'll tap into After Effects and I'll drag this into a new composition. And this is what we have. I'll just right click and check the comp settings. 1280 by 720, that's fine. And I will change this to a standard final. And we will see the image that we saw in Cinema 4D. So this may take a little bit longer to render because we have all these like all the environment maps and all that stuff. And there we go. Oh, I really think this looks so nice. I must say, I'm very surprised. I'll just change the resolution to like half or something, just so that we can work a little bit faster. So I'll select our CG scene and I'll hit extract. That means that I'll extract the scene data from Cinema 4D. That means I'll get the camera and the lights and the position for those. So I'll hit extract. And then if I click on this light called light right here, it's the same. As you can see, light is the same position. I can get the light right here. I'll take the other light and just delete it, and then I will do Control Y to make a new layer, call it Optical Flares, and I will find my effect over here, and this is a paid effect, but I'm sure a lot of guys have it anyways. Go into options and find a cool looking red lens flare. I'll set its render on transparent, and right now it's set to just be in some kind of a position, this position, but I wanted to actually track lights, and that means that it will find the light in this composition, which is this guy, and then it will use that as the position. So I'll take it and drag it up so that it is above our scene, and I want to change the intensity a bit because that right there was a little bit too much. Maybe set this to full and try and look at another frame. Let's see what we've got. And this is what we've got. We've got these nice shiny light coming through the letters, and the very nice parts right here with the bump maps and the light coming from this flare up here. You can see we can change the flare real time if we want to. The great thing about this is that if we suddenly needed to if some guy came along and said, hey, I've got my name is not Cinema 4D, my name is world or hello, then it's very easy to just change it. You don't have to do any re-rendering or anything. You can just go in, change a few letters, and 2 seconds later you will have a complete new scene. There we go, it says hello. Let's just change it to something like Edupedia world. Let's see what that looks like. Can it... There's space enough, that's nice. Let's just see if everything... Edupedia world. There we go. And I will render the first frame and see how that looks. So this is, in my opinion, some very powerful workflows where I can just change the whole scene in a few seconds. And of course this would work a lot better if you had an extremely fast computer. Mine is pretty quick. It's got like a quad-core 4.5 gigahertz processor, but it's still struggling a little bit with this. So as you can see right now, we've got Edupedia world, the lens flares, everything's looking very badass. So that's about it for this effect, guys. I really hope you enjoy these videos because I really enjoy making them. So I hope you learned a lot from this this lecture, and that's about it.
Thank you for watching Edupedia World. Stay tuned for more videos.